Live again. But now we are live again. Little mishap. Sorry for the little mishap. So yeah, because of all the skipping and everything. Yeah, because of all the skipping and everything, everything should be good now. Let me know if on the stream we're getting audio. Oh, my mic was also activated. No BS. We might have been double picking that up. Check, check. One, two, 1, 2.
Check, check.
Yeah, we're good. So audio's ready. Spoopy, let's start. What third time's the charm, right?
Just want to redo it again.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine with that. All right. All right.
On your mark.
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
All right. Should I explain everything again for the third time?
All right. I'm in the mine.
For the VOD if you want.
Signal strong. You're coming through loud and clear, Chris.
So,
we didn't
like
get
I've
much
said
from the
twice,
first unit before we lost
this
contact.
takes place immediately after
Lucas
Resident
turned
Evil
the
7.
mine into his own personal hideout.
Essentially,
how many men did we
Chris
lose?
goes right
3 of our
back
best.
into
Their
the
last
mines.
transmission was near a
This
lab
is why
that
this
should be
looks so
just ahead.
familiar.
I'm going to need you to
This
check
is
it
the
out.
salt mines.
Got it.
And he's going to look for Lucas. There was a recon team set in before him, and we have lost contact with them. Chris is going in to find
The
them.
lab is just ahead.
Any idea what Lucas is up to down here?
We're still analyzing the data, but it
It's
looks
any
like
consolation right now, it's smooth as butter.
butamycete.
Awesome.
Let's hope those men haven't become a part of those experiments.
So these soldiers are going to be a key part of the story and not a hero. Here's
Get
one
you
of
out
them.
of here.
Leave me. It's too late.
And I'll also mention
We're
that
both
we are
walking outta
also
here.
playing on the
I
Zero
got
D
news
version
for you.
for
What?
Not a Hero.
That's not gonna happen.
There are some
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
heads that don't remain on bodies in the non-Zero D version. They remain on the
Now, you can
bodies
try
in
and
this
take that
version.
off all you want.
And I believe it
But I'd
saves
advise
about
against
7
My
seconds,
hand might slip and
Lucas!
which in a
Oops.
23-24 minute run
Now
is
here's the deal,
a big
Chris.
chunk of time.
You don't
So,
follow me, and I don't bounce your
Kind of the
head
same
off the
thing
ceiling.
with the main game. If you're going for world records, you're going to
Save
want to
those
run
for your
Zero
little
D.
soldier brains too. Adios. Muchachos.
And DLC definitely shows off some more of Lucas's kind of sadistic tendencies.
I'm picking
He has
up
a lot of
airborne
traps.
spores. It's the E-type butamycete.
He just
Your
threw
mask
one
will
on our
switch
wrist,
automatically to
and it's
rebreather
gonna
mode.
come into play
Keep
a
an
little
eye on
bit
your
later.
oxygen tank to be safe. Looks like you're clear of any.
And I'm running with the knife right now.
You should head back and get that
Doesn't
bomb.
There's no
anything.
time.
Personally, it
Just to be careful.
takes away some of the temptation to shoot things because Chris slows down when he shoots. I don't have a good reason why.
Chris, we finished analyzing the data we intercepted.
I have a good
from
reason
Lucas.
why
It's like we
Chris
thought. The
shoots,
son of a bitch has been
like slows
sending
down when he
status reports
shoots.
on EV to the
I'm
connections.
kind of assuming it's
Find
because
him
he's a
and bring him
soldier,
in.
and
We can't
soldiers
let
are
this
more or
happen
less.
again.
Some
You sure
soldiers
you
are
just
trained
don't
to
wanna
slow
recruit 'em?
down when they shoot
Chris,
for
we've been
better
over this.
accuracy.
Maybe the BSAA
That's
is
the only
convinced.
thing I could come up with.
If they weren't, I wouldn't be here. But working with Umbrella is going to take some getting used to on my part.
And so
I know it must be
this
difficult,
is Lucas's
and to tell the
kind of
truth,
underground
a lot of our
lair
members have been with
in
us since even
Louisiana,
before we
which is kinda
reincorporated
like,
as a PMC. About all that's left now is
why
the name.
something is underground in Louisiana,
Let's just
I don't
focus
know.
on the mission, and maybe we can continue this conversation when you get back. Okay?
Sure,
So
whatever.
we're going to enter kind of the first area of this. I would say there's 4 main areas to Not a Hero, and they're kind of shut off by 3 of these shutter doors. There's another soldier. We're going to ignore him. Do you want? They're saying that I'm quiet. There's something I can do about that.
That got a little bit better as you brought the mic a little bit closer and maybe speak up a little bit, and that should be good.
I do think my microphone is a little not sensitive, so I should probably just start eating it most of the time. So here's the first puzzle. I'm going to need to grab this crank and there's a gear I will also need to grab. And I'm gonna position myself fairly specifically when I use these, and it's gonna do something kind of weird to the molded.
This ought to do it.
So if I do that and I look this way, they're not gonna come directly at me. They're kind of go off to the side. This guy's probably gonna hit me though. That's fine.
Please tell me what I'm looking at.
I have no idea. It's
I'm not sure why it
something
does that. I'm pretty sure it has
Exercise
something to do
extreme
with
caution.
where the molded think you are. But no confirmation on that. So I just grabbed the cage key. That is going to unlock this cell to our second soldier friend that was kidnapped by Lucas. So up here is probably maybe a good time for a couple donations if you have any.
Not right now, but I'm sure they're on their way. I mean, we got to reach
Everything's all right
12,000 before
now.
the end of this, people. Let's go.
Oh yeah,
That's just
12,000
what he
is
wants you to
doable.
think.
This is actually the
I'm just
main
the bait.
soldier that Zero
And you
D
fell for it.
saved a lot of time on.
What?
Normally he has this like big jigsaw contraption that comes down
shit.
and cuts his head off.
Take the filter.
They don't do that.
I'm
It's
a
Zero D.
mask.
He just has another
Hurry.
neck bomb.
But you'll die.
I'm dead
And
anyway.
the reason I have this oxygen meter on the bottom left is because the mold of the E-type is very toxic. And we have to wear an oxygen tank to get through it, and these filters. It's not really how filters work, but
Sorry.
but this allows us to go into the next area, which is filled with this mold.
Lucas.
And then I would say the main thing to running and not a hero is honestly your movement is actually a
I
pretty
can't wait
key
to get
part
my
of
hands on
not a
that
hero.
asshole.
Trying to
Just
get as
remember we
straight a
need him
line as
alive, Chris.
possible and save
Yeah.
you a good amount of time. The menuing is not as intense as main game. It's really, you kind of just set it and forget it, more or less. You saw me put everything kind of in a place in the elevator, and I'm not really going to mess with it after that. I just know where my cursor needs to be, and I know where I need it to go. And up here, we're actually going to come into an enemy that wasn't in the main game. They're called the White Molded. They're essentially this game's version of regenerators. They are extremely difficult to kill without a specific type of ammunition, which we'll be coming up on pretty soon. Now, this game can be beat knife only. Yossi in the chat runs this knife only, which does mean you can kill these White Molded with the knife, which I find insane. So right now, I'm actually going to grab the some night vision goggles and the ramrods.
Those ramrods should allow you to take down the new white.
Oh, looks like a donation came in.
Good.
Yeah, you can go for it.
Awesome. So DDG donated $6. It says, "This is going to be my last donation as I'm leaving for work, but enjoy the rest of the marathon, everyone. Let's get that 12K. Also, the game you all lusted. Screw you, Dom. Screw you."
So these guys are really annoying. They can block you right here, which is not fun at all. And they can also block this. So this is an elevator that's coming down. They can block this door if they're in the way, which is really fun. Most of the time, I will say most of the time, if you don't look at them, they don't really harass you that much. I have noticed that watching them makes them a bit more aggressive. And this might be the more action-y DLC or part of like RE7, but I'm actually trying to shoot things as little as possible while I'm running. Like I said, it just slows Chris down. So right here, I'm gonna do something a little bit. So Frame rate is also important and not a hero, but for a little bit of different reason. I'm going to do something that we call God mode, which is essentially dropping your frame rate to 30, and it allows you to just walk. It allows you to push enemies, like while they're still getting up, and just gets them out of your way. So we call it God mode. And that was the second area, so we're going to go into the third one, which is going to require the night vision that I just picked up. Because not only does the night vision allow you to see in the dark, it allows you to see infrared, which allows you to see some of these traps that Lucas has set up. These little floor tiles shoot out a bunch of flames if you step on them, and they're really annoying. Also, these lasers. So there's also... Chris can also counter attacks. Let's see if I can get this. I did not. That feels bad. If you block at the right time, Chris will actually deflect attacks, including that bomb. Which feels really good when you get it, and it feels really bad when you don't. Like that. That's what's supposed to happen. Alright, here's another kind of puzzle. Not really. Just kind of moving stuff out of the way. I would say the puzzles in Resident Evil 7 are definitely not as hard as some of the older games. I wouldn't really call it a puzzle, honestly. This is just move stuff out of the way. And this is actually taking us to one of the major items in this game, which is the Found Key. Found Key gives us access to a lot of areas. Pretty much all the areas to actually finish the game. And since I've been doing my menuing pretty consistently, well, since I set up my menu, it's just going to be in this slot. And I can kill that guy before he hits me. So now is probably the scariest part of this run, which is a bunch of lasers that will insta-kill you.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Hang on.
And yes, I'm running. I am standing up in between these lasers because speed. Okay, I made it through. Yeah, that part is terrifying. Not in a marathon. So, all right. I'm gonna pick up a couple more items.
Hey, you still with us?
Yeah. Any donations or if you have anything else to add?
It's you.
That's it for now, but that's the key operative here for now.
So yeah, this is our third soldier friend.
I think we can get out this way.
So these bombs are also still active, just so you who play this casually still know, those are still active. If you shoot them, they will still go off, which is not fun.
Over here. We can get out. Up through there. Oh, fuck. You gotta be kidding me.
And it's RE7, so the language is real. Yeah, there's pretty foul language for both this and End of Zoe, just as a warning. And up next, actually, I'm going to be the first and only restart
because of you.
of this run.
Ends, and it ends now.
Essentially, it's going to do something pretty neat. Basically, it's going to teleport us. That's very similar to a couple of the ones in the main game.
Then you are going to die.
This autosave. And you go that. And now we're at top.
Okay.
Saves
We got
maybe
a
a
situation
second,
here.
but it's pretty nice.
We're on it, Chris. Head back to the central
Also,
cavern
that
and wait
door
for
sometimes will fly right
let
open,
me down.
and sometimes it'll be really slow, like
Yeah.
there.
I've pretty much only gotten slow door for the past week for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. And we're actually going towards our first boss fight. Call her Big Mama.
Chris,
probably
good
see
news.
why.
Our video logs from the first unit show canisters of
And
liquid
she has a
nitrogen
pretty
nearby.
specific,
You might be able to deactivate the bomb by freezing it.
Where are the canisters?
The storage
pretty
space in the
specific
mine port
strat
area.
for
Go
what
through the red shutter
ammo
door.
you use and how you use it. Hopefully I'm going to pull it off the way I want to. There's a bit of safety, and like, if I use a couple extra rounds, it's not going to be the end of the world. I can still get them later. But hopefully I don't have to spend too much extra ammo. And there's
We just
one
got a
crawler.
$30. Oh, sorry. We got a $30.78 donation by Authentic Red. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that crawler can, sometimes he's nice and sometimes he's not. He was not nice today. Alright, this is the Mama
The
molded
liquid
fight.
nitrogen is
Or
just
called
beyond
Big
that room.
Mama.
Coming into that fight, you might have noticed he shot the box and picked up 3 extra ram rods for this fight, which are absolutely necessary. Starts off the fight with 1 nade, downs him, then follows up with more nades. And for this fight, you want to use the ram rods and shoot down to 1 bullet, just so that way the reload animation is quicker than if you fully emptied the mag. And there was the kill. You did have to use all ram rods, and sometimes you can get away with keeping the 1 extra, but it's really not a big deal if you have to use all of them.
Yeah, it's also one thing. It's a good thing to start talking about is death animations and not a hero super important. So the way an enemy dies,
Take it off before it thaws and restarts.
how long that takes, is really important. Like you saw there, I supposed to shoot across in the chest for that last shot. It gives you the quickest death animation.
Yeah, I'm fine.
She happened to
Okay,
curl
Lucas.
forward and I
It's
shot her in
just
the
you
head,
and
so
me.
she got a little bit longer death animation than I'd like. But it's going to become real important in this
Chris, we're
next
showing a
area.
room located behind the shield
Essentially, it's an
machine.
arena,
Lucas?
3
It's possible.
waves,
See if you can get in there to check it
and
out.
the
Got
enemy
it.
spawns are very much determined by the death of other enemies. And not just them being dead, like they need to stop moving. They're not considered dead in this game until they stop moving, which is really frustrating, especially because the main weapon we use is a shotgun. And shotgun is like a shotgun and has a fairly random spread. So you could be aiming one place and you don't hit that place. I've aimed at a lot of shins and hit a lot of arms. So we're gonna hope that I can have some pretty decent accuracy with shooting some molded in the legs. Because the average molded, you want to shoot them in the legs. For whatever reason, they just kind of drop and that's it. But if you shoot them in the head or you blow their arm off, they tend to wiggle around and you just waste time. I would say this is probably the most maligned part of this whole run. Pretty much everybody has time to save here.
Christopher, still with us, I see. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
this is one of the
friend.
spots where your
Very
run
impressive.
either ends up being a good one
Let's
or it kind of
see
just
how
dies here.
impressive you really are.
This was recently found this grenade use. Usually, like before, you would just start shooting right away, but the use of that nade helps with their death animation sometimes. Like we said earlier, just want to shoot the legs and they kind of just are done with the death animation almost instantly. And for the regenerators, you want to shoot them in the chest.
Maybe you're good. Maybe
That
you
last
got
molded
lucky.
took a long time
What
to
do you
die
say,
because his arm got blown off. And here comes the second wave. You'll notice sometimes he has to shoot him second time in the head. Just sometimes when you blow the leg off, it just isn't enough damage.
You're slowing down, Christopher. Almost had you that time. Just how much more of this do you think
I
you
think I
can
missed the
take?
ramrod pickup. Or did I? No, I didn't.
No, you're good. Final boss is 2 fat molded who come out here at the end. Easy peasy. Just want to shoot those guys in the gut for the quickest death animations.
Okay.
Yeah, shooting them in the head
No more, alright?
takes a lot longer for
I don't
them
have
to explode.
anything left.
You won't get
yeah,
any sympathy
that's,
from me, asshole.
I call the
know,
arena,
I know.
and let's call it the cabin. A lot of people call it the cabin.
I've done terrible things.
Yeah, it's
Horrible
where
things.
most not a hero
I
runs
killed
from to
your
die.
man.
Yeah.
Tortured
That one
them,
was okay. Like, it wasn't terrible.
and
Like I
I
said, that
enjoyed
Endless pointed
every
out, that
second,
first wave,
soldier boy. Just
kind of
like I'm
took a
going
little
to
long.
enjoy watching you
That
burn.
last molded had his arm blown off, and he was just wiggling around.
Hear that? Sounds like time's running out for you.
And that's pretty much the worst part of Not a Hero. It's just getting those death animations
Getting kill me
consistent.
just killed me. For the love of God, shut the fuck up!
But
Oh, I wish I
once
could
you
say
get it
much
down,
about
it's
that,
pretty good.
but I can't. I have it elsewhere to be. Bye.
Like every other Resident Evil game, you can't be a Resident Evil unless something has a self-destruct. So, self-destruct. And now we are on
Chris,
to
are you
the
okay?
final boss
Yeah,
fight.
I'm fine.
We managed to intercept
We're
an
just
email
going to be
Lucas just
walking
sent out.
through, essentially,
Listen to this.
Ethan's old lab.
Umbrella and Redfield have been taken care of. Dealing with them cost me some time. Cost them a lot more. But I can still get that data to you, but we're quits after that.
He thinks I'm dead. This might be our chance. Who'd he send it to?
We're still decrypting that. Just
Also,
get
to
Lucas.
mention, the entire
Keep me
time,
posted.
Lucas just thinks we're dead. So we're gonna surprise him here in a second.
I don't normally watch it, but I like watching it.
What the hell? Oh, fuck!
Lucas!
I think that's funny. You don't want to be pushing up against that door when you open it, because it won't open if you're pressing up against it. But if you kind of pull back until that light turns green,
We got your
it was
emails.
open.
We know you're funneling info to someone.
That's none of your goddamn
Alright.
business, Chris. A lot of
We are
people out there
on to
want to know
final
about
boss
our little
fight.
AV. A lot of people.
Your friends, the connections, know about this? They don't
Spoiler
strike me as
with
the
Lucas.
forgiving type.
That's
And
my
Lucas
business.
is a
You
troll.
let me worry about that.
He
You're
also
about
has
to
a very
have your
specific
hands full.
routing for. It's recently been updated by Midman. I haven't gotten it completely down, but I've integrated at least part of it. So we'll be seeing that.
I don't. No,
And hopefully,
I don't believe it.
hopefully, I don't have to use a
Believe
shotgun
it.
on
It's
phase
over.
3. Hopefully.
No,
Not saying it won't happen,
no
but
way.
Just shut
Ideally,
up and
it doesn't.
accept it, Lucas.
Love that, wouldn't you?
also Chris is gonna take
Oh,
a
boy.
small little nap in a minute.
Got a
I kind of
situation
think they
down
just
here.
didn't know how to do something,
Encryption
so
is
they
at
just
critical
figured it
mass.
out.
Tell me something I don't know.
Oh, I've got something for you. You're fucking squirrel.
You're going to need to proceed
You
with
get to see a
caution.
lot more Lucas in
Extreme
this
caution.
DLC, which I
Oh,
really
that's
like.
different.
I like Lucas as an
Like you haven't been since we got
antagonist.
here.
Oh yeah, so Chris took a little nap, and he wakes up to this thing. Don't ask me how that happened.
Animation budget being cut, that's how.
Yeah.
Come in here.
So starting at the fight, you kind of just want to walk up behind where he falls out. You kind of want to push him in his position, so that way after you shoot him, when he gets knocked down, he's in a better position after phase 1, so he just jumps up onto his like pedestal right away. And here you shoot one shot at his head, which will help stagger him in phase 2.
The air contamination is going off the charts. Count that thing before your air tank gets out.
Thanks for the advice.
Oxygen supply station ready for service.
Now on to phase 3, the final phase, where it really just takes 3 final shots to kill him normally.
Yeah, so that was Lucas. Fortunately, I had to use a few extra shotgun rounds, but that is the fight. And time will be coming up. Time. So that is not a hero. New game easy, any %.
Game over.
We do go by in-game time, so we'll see what that is in a second.
Finally.
I'm gonna cut 2341, sub 24. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for you to sub 24, so
Awesome.
that's good.
Good
My
run.
PB is a 2321, so it's actually not super far off.
Oh, that's pretty good actually, especially considering it's a marathon run.
Yeah, I have been practicing. I promise, because oh man, this category can be a real meme sometimes.
I believe you.
So yeah.
So I believe this brings us to the next DLC.
Yep. I don't know if you want to do a transition or I can just go over to it.
Oh, you can jump right in if you want.
Okay. One thing though is we ran this on the 0D. It is actually faster to run End of Zoe on the Steam version. 0D, it makes basically one cutscene. What do you want to call it? Less grotesque, but it adds time, so it's actually faster to just run the Steam version. So I'm gonna swap out of that, go into here. Get through all of this. All right, so we're gonna be doing End of Zoe. There's also a new game easy. There's no 100% for this game, unfortunately. I wish there was, but there isn't. So there's only any %. So I'll be starting the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So End of Zoe. The first 30 seconds is probably the most reset-heavy part of this entire run. I'm not going to reset as much as I will probably want to. Let's see if I can do this.
I can take you fuckers with my
Hoping he's
Basically,
I love the dialogue in this one specifically.
He's not dead, but that's fine.
You moldy motherfucker.
So this finisher is the bane of my existence. Okay. Essentially, what it means is that the enemies are dead, but it's gonna wait for you to do a finisher move.
What the?
If you wait it out, they just die. There's really no point other than wasting your time.
Jesus Christ.
Because after the first, 5 times you do it, it kind of gets old. And I really wish I could just turn it off. So after I went through that door, I picked up a chem fluid. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of crafting in this run. Crafting is its own beast of menuing in Resident Evil 7, and I'm hoping I don't screw any of it up. Because you gotta do it real fast, because again, the Resident Evil 7 inventory is in game time, so nothing pauses for you.
Just let it work.
And there are some parts of it where that is definitely to your advantage in this run, and there are some parts that it is terrifying to have to do something that quick. But yeah, we're just gonna. There are quite a bit of cutscenes in this run. A lot of not doing anything. It is only a 20-minute run, but I would say a solid almost 8 minutes of it is just watching cutscenes or in parts you just can't do anything about. But the stuff that you actually do tends to be really intense and tech-filled. So it is a pretty fun run to do. It can also be a pretty frustrating one. So, because like I said, there are a lot of reset points in this run, and if you screw them up, it's not just like you could save it. It's like there's almost no saving some of these things. I wish there was a save strategy in this game, but there really isn't. You just kind of got to do it right, or you lose 30 seconds. which again, in a 20-minute run is a chunk.
Horror movie bullshit.
So, kind of to another kind of cutscene. This is Zoe, by the way.
Okay.
If we hadn't pointed that out, she has been more or less debilitated by Evie's mold. Kind of the way that Jack got crystallized in the end of Jack 3's fight, or Evelyn at the end of hers. It's kind of like that, but like not. There's a cure. That was that green liquid we went and got for her. We're actually going to try and get some more. Because we are playing as Joe, Zoe's uncle and Jack's brother.
Soldier Boy said the meds were at some kind of base.
Joe is such a badass. I mean, come on. The guy punches molded and doesn't even flinch. And
Where
up
all
later,
hell
he
did this
can
wall
block
come from?
gators with his forearms. What? Like, I thought Ethan was tough. This dude blocks gators with
Looks like
his
somebody
arms.
left the lights
It's
on.
insane.
That's good enough for me.
Alright, we are coming up on the next area. We call it the base. I wouldn't say it's super crazy intense. It's supposed to be a stealth section. Which I am basically not going to do stealth and makes it become stealth. I'm going to do if there are no
Don't you worry,
witnesses,
Zoe.
nobody saw it.
Just a little further.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty different strat than what I was doing. Like, I ran this game mostly about 2 years ago, like a year or two ago. And it's a lot different than what I was doing, and it's way faster.
Not now, Gator.
It's fairly consistent. There's one part at the end that can throw me off,
Okay.
but
You'll be safe here.
hoping I don't get
Just
that.
you wait here.
Essentially, I'll put it this way. There are 4 enemies in this next area. I'm going to kill 2 of them and hope that the other 2 didn't notice me.
One thing I want to point out here is you might have noticed in the first part, he's kind of always doing the same exact combo, right, left, and just because that's the most effective.
Okay, got through the base. That crawler can alert another enemy, and it's not good. This is the first, I'll call it a boss fight. It's not really, though.
Yeah, this is just generally a couple combos and it's finished.
Maybe a little skip. So looking back or at that doorway skips an extra animation. Essentially, if you just look forward going through that door, they will grab you and pull you back and try and hit you, which is slow. But if you're looking at them, the game won't let them do it. And we kind of figured out that if you just look at the doorway, it kind of counts as you looking back. So yeah, up here, like I was saying, Joe can block gators. And I'm actually doing something kind of specific. I'm trying to throw my camera kind of in the opposite the direction I want to go, because these gators actually push you back. So if I can throw my camera quick enough, they will actually push me in the direction I want to go. And then up here is the paddle boat. Almost nobody knows that this is a paddle boat. Every time I mention the paddle boat, everybody's like, "What paddle boat?" I'm like, This is the paddle boat." There's a bit of text that tells you to go to this paddle boat that a lot of people miss. Then up here is another kind of tight routing area. One thing about this game is that if you hit enemies with a spear, it's usually a one-shot kill, unless they are spawning. Then you have to they're taken down to like 1 health, so you just have to tap them and they explode. And this is another stealth section where I'm just gonna basically just kill this guy. Because the way these kind of destructible doors work is basically either everything has to be dead, or they haven't noticed you. One of those two. And for most of it, I'm kind of doing a combination. And then I'm going to throw a spear at that guy. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to throw a spear at that guy, and that guy. And boom. That is the paddle boat.
Yeah, you might have noticed he punched that guy going down the stairs right away. That's just to get him to kind of chase him down the hallway, which saves time.
Yeah, if you don't punch him, he kind of goes down the hallway and then back, and you just end up having to wait for him. Yeah, so up here is kind of the first part of crafting that I'm probably not going to talk for, because I'm hoping I don't screw it up. But this is the next boss fight. Hopefully I pull off this strat fast. It's essentially getting a 1 cycle on this boss instead of a 2 cycle. Oh,
Yeah,
damn it.
dang. Yeah, usually just want to get that bomb down as quick as possible and get a couple combos off.
I might still have got it. Yeah, I still got it. So I still got the 1 cycle, but I was kind of slow. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy I didn't get to the 2 cycle, because I probably would have vomited. But so that was a scene that got censored in Cerity. That's actually slower.
Yeah, there's like some kind of weird extra voice line there. That's just slightly slower.
Alright, now that we have the cure, we're going to go back to Zoe. Try and give it to her. But, obviously, that's not how this game ends.
It's never that easy.
Sorry, not your medicine. You're going to be fine.
Surprise! Yeah, he's not dead.
He just reattached his head. He's like, alright, I'm going back for you.
Yep. Some John Carpenter's The Thing 5.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that thing like sprout legs and try and crawl around.
That would have been awesome.
So here's another kind of long cutscene. This is going to come up onto my, I'll call it my least favorite part of the run. It is extremely specific, extremely tight, and there's not a lot of room for error. And there are some things you also like you kind of have to adapt to, which is also not super fun. Like some enemy placement is a little bit random, depending on how fast you've done everything else. So it's going to be tricky. But I'm going to be grabbing more craftables just so I can, I'm making a lot more items, and I'm going to have just enough items to get through this entire section. I'm hoping I don't have to use any more than I have to.
He's got to be up ahead.
But also, one thing about this, so chem fluid and sticks make bombs. Don't ask me how chemicals and sticks make bombs, but they do. And then sticks and scrap metal make spears, which that one makes sense. So, just for the people that want to know why I'm picking up specific things. And there's a little ledge over here that just puts you out of the water. So you can just run along here. You don't have to wade through the water as much. That's a naval gator. And that's a real gator. Much scared of the... That balloon terrified me when I played this.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
And here he's taking a specific to try and gators as possible.
This like knock firm to this part.
Next part gets a little scary. Room quickly crafts some more things and then throws a spear at a guy through a window. That's the first part done. But there's always more. That guy took a lot of punches, I would say. Here's probably the most part about this. He's gonna throw a spear at this guy, pick up some stuff, get the bomb ready, pick up more spears, set the bomb, blow some people up, and throw another spear to get through there.
Really happy I got through there. That part can be really tough. I got really lucky in those, where I put that bomb, there's 2 molded, and they're not always there. They're usually a lot farther down the dock. So I actually got really lucky there. And here's a cemetery, which is also scary.
Yeah. Cemetery, there's gonna be a fat mold that spawns. He's gonna spear in the face, blow him up, turn around, spear another guy, punch another guy, then he's gonna spear the big guy in the head, and hopefully he'll die. Which he did not.
Okay. I don't know why I couldn't break that door. I think I got a finisher on the guy I punched, so that's why that door wasn't breaking. But other than that, if you hit that molded in the head with that second spear, it discounts it. So if you got everything correctly, then you can just go through that door. It's really satisfying to pull off, and I'm honestly not that mad about that. That wasn't terrible. I think I just got the finisher.
What the
fuck? The guy. But yeah, that is the hardest part of this whole run, is the swamp plus the cemetery. That is where good runs die. That's the cabin of End of Zoe. And it's all technique too. Like, not a lot of it is luck. It's pretty much all just technique and practice.
Don't you remember your brother?
I would say the main luck is just those 2 molded on the dock, kind of where they are.
Don't do it! Don't
Yep.
touch her! Jack!
Do we have time for a couple minutes?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Van Jack's Games donated $20, followed by Nanajnag donated $2.22 and says fixed, and Rayo Run donated $5. Thank you very much.
I know them. They're good people.
That they are. We're almost at 12K. Almost.
We can do it. We don't have a whole lot of time left. You got the Tofu run after this.
Oh hell, Jackie boy.
Which I'm super hyped for the Tofu run.
Tofu is always fun.
Alright, this is kind of the final area of End of Zoe. I'm going to be grabbing one of the most overpowered weapons in all of Resident Evil 7. It's called the AMG. Basically turns Joe's arms into like even more powerful than they already are.
There you are.
Which again, this guy can block gators and rip monsters' heads off.
What the hell is this?
I love my
Are they
powered
fancy
glove.
toys?
It's so bad.
That was in my splits for a long time. I called this the power glove.
Ready for
Nice.
use.
So you can charge it up. It's got 3 charging phases. The third one allows you to break through steel barricades. So that's how strong it is.
Put old Jack down for good.
And then I'm going to be going through some of the rest of the game. Like this is the old house where you saw Marguerite. All her spiders. I'm just going to run through here and punch everything.
Get out of my way!
Alright. So the 3 phases, you can actually just kill most molded with the second phase. You don't even have to get it to the 3rd phase. And then I'm actually not going to be using the charges at all for the rest of the run.
Just you wait, Jack.
They're really useful, and there is a
Zoe's
kind of
coming
risky
with
strat
me.
to get a shorter Jack
Zoe!
Jack 3 fight. I don't know why I was like
Zoe!
holding that back. Yeah, you've been
Zoe,
fighting
wake
Jack the
up,
whole
wake
time.
up!
But yeah, I'm not gonna use this charge at all. I'm just gonna do more combos.
Yoda's a rabid dog.
Alright, good start.
Yo, misery.
This is kind of just combo after combo. Dodges attacks, followed by more combos. A little more complicated than what I explained, but that's the general gist of this fight.
Yeah, you want him to do mostly his like tentacle attacks, because they're way easier to dodge. Casually, you're just gonna use like punches, but it's generally kind of riskier but faster, because you can just get stunned. Like, take a hit and get stunned. If you get a stun like that, than it is to block. So, but with the tentacle attacks, I can do stuff like that.
You just pulled a Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Alright. And doing these punches instead of doing the charge attack turns this from a 3-phase fight into a 2-phase fight. That was Jack 3.
From the family, brother.
Reference to the farewell from the family.
Oh, yeah.
And the time will be coming up pretty soon. I'll call it out.
Zoe, hang in there.
Seriously, like, End of Zoe is such an entertaining run to watch.
Right, though?
And I mean, they really went creative. It's like they're like, okay, let's have fun with this.
And
Like,
Zoe!
time.
Wake up,
let's
Zoe.
go. 20 minutes, 19 seconds.
Ooh, that's
I'm
pretty
fine.
good.
Don't you worry about me.
My PB is
Nice.
1956. So I did pretty good. They got pretty close to my PBs, which I'm really happy about. I didn't get all the strats that I wanted to show off, unfortunately, but
Weapons down.
that's marathon luck for you.
Weapons down. It's all right.
I mean, in any case, it was very entertaining, and thank you, so one, but two, really appreciate it.
We're here to help.
And I'd like to say thank you to Endless Devastation for the commentary support.
Yep, absolutely. And there's one thing about this end cutscene I kind of wanted to point out.
Of course.
So she's going to get a call from Ethan, and she's going to thank him profusely for everything he did for her. She's not going to thank Joe at all. And he literally destroyed an entire swamp full of monsters to save her.
You gotta know. Deep down somewhere.
And I did also kind of want
It was
to
still
say
your
something
family.
kind of about the
They
cause
loved
that
you.
we're
Especially your dad.
donating to and going for.
Even in his final
For all the
days.
people that are kind of in that weird limbo space of, you know,
We
am I
found
doing
her.
the right thing?
He's a tough kid.
Am I in the right?
Of
Am I a
course.
racist? Am I all
Hang
these
on.
things? It's okay to be wrong.
Someone
I'm wrong
wants
all
to
the time.
speak to you.
Being wrong is fine. What's not
Part of
wrong,
the
what's not
process.
okay is being wrong and
Zoe,
unwilling to change.
It's you. I don't believe it. You
Being willing to
actually
change
made it.
is what is
We both
going
did.
to make give us a better future.
forget
And
about
right now, a
me.
lot of people are having a lot of
I
trouble
told
with
you I'd
that.
send help.
That's
I
because people don't want to
always
be
keep my
wrong.
promises.
I don't want to be wrong, but I am all the time, and I admit
Thank
it.
you.
And we all need to be willing to change. So yeah, that's kind of what I had to say.
Wise words indeed. And to those who are wondering, we're supporting the Bell Project, which is a national nonprofit I just can't. Hold on. Rewind. So the Bail Project is a national nonprofit organization designed to combat mass incarceration by disrupting the money bail system one person at a time. They believe that paying bail for someone in need is an act of resistance against a system that criminalizes race and poverty, and an act of solidarity with local communities and movements for decarceration. Over the next few years, the project will open dozens of sites in high-need jurisdictions, with the goal of paying bail for tens of thousands of low-income Americans, all while collecting stories and data that prove money bail is not necessary to ensure people to court. They won't stop being is achieved, and the presumption of innocence is no longer for sale. So, and to those wondering, oh, but you know, this and that, and how do I know that it goes to the right people? Well, I mean, if you go on the website, I'm going to actually put the link in chat right now. It's covered in the fact, but essentially, they help people who have been cleared by a judge to basically, you know, people who are they already have the presumption of innocence and are eligible for bail, so they're not a menace to society. And basically, it's based on the charges and the evidence that's against them in the, I guess, what you would call the preliminary hearing. And right now, what's happening is that if you're in a low income, pending your trial, well, you're stuck in jail, so you can't work, you can't be with your family. And the fact that you're innocent until proven guilty, if you can afford it, is something that is not right. And with everything that's been going on in the United States, with all the protesters being arrested unjustly, it's something that's greatly needed right now. So your donations are going to a good place, helping good people just like you and me. And honestly, it's been it's been an exhausting weekend, but it was all worth it. And all I can say at this point is that the next run is the bonus run. This was the last official run of the marathon, and we're going to close on a tofu race. So we're going to go on a quick break. When we're back, we'll see who wins. Right now, Flan is in the lead with 11:36, and Tofu right behind with 10:68. So unless someone snipes it, looks like we're going to get Flan. Or unless if someone double snipes it, we might get something else. Or Flan might come back on top. Who knows? The suspense is killing me. Get those donations in. Let's make it to 12K, and we'll be right back. Once again, thank you so much, Poopy Penguin.
Damn.
Endless devastation. And hopefully well, thank you for being here, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the future as well.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a